Fortinet program is fantastic. So this is a program where veterans who are exiting the military have an amazing opportunity to expand their network through Fortinet, so they can either get employment at Fortinet itself or among Fortinet partners. So this really helps veterans out because they don't really know people when they get out of the military, and now they have that opportunity.
I was having a real hard time finding a job. I had a friend of mine that offered me a job, but I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I had no phone calls prior to joining the Fortinet program. Shortly after my battle card was sent out, I started getting phone calls. I ended up getting 2 offers because of my battle card. I was introduced to the Fortinet program. I was immediately excited about the program because it's a mentorship, it's a training program, and it helps transitioning veterans move into a cybersecurity role or really any kind of IT role.
I initially learned about the program while attending a veterans transition event. I heard someone from the Fortinet program speak, and it really piqued my interest. I dealt with Fortinet products in the Marine Corps. I know they were a phenomenal company, and so I really want to be in line with anything dealing with Fortinet and gaining an understanding of the program. The Fortinet program helped me in a number of ways. For me and my family, it was definitely a career game changer and really prepared me to enter the private sector workforce as a cybersecurity professional. It really gave me an understanding of where I best fit into the industry and also the skills I need to gain before I exited military service and moved into the private sector.
This program really helps veterans that it's not only just connecting them to Fortinet's partners, it's teach them professional etiquette, skills, how to take an interview, how to conduct themselves, how to construct their resume, how to organize their resume, and it's no cost. They're not getting paid to place veterans in jobs. This is purely to do the right thing, and because Fortinet wants their partners to have strong employees and Fortinet as well.
I can't find the words to articulate how much this program has helped me, not only with my personal but my professional development. I've built countless relationships in my professional network and built numerous rapport with those contacts as well. I started here as a business development representative in 2016, and through hard work, I'm now sitting in a career-facing role.
The Fortinet program has helped me with my cybersecurity knowledge. I was very entry-level before I joined the program. And as I went through the program, I started realizing that I might actually know a little bit more than I did. It helped boost my confidence.
And that's one of the great benefits of the Fortinet program. They'll help you identify those skills that you may have that you don't know you have. And you may be a perfect fit in the cybersecurity workspace.
Fortinet program really taught me how to be a leader and how to establish myself with proper etiquette in the business world.
So I'm Stephan, Tallent, Senior Director, Managed Security Service Providers and Service Enablement here at Fortinet. I lead a team of professionals with backgrounds in managed security service provider operations, service creation, and automation. We also run the global the global Fortinet program. So it's my privilege to tell you a little bit about this program and how it can impact you and your business. So let's chat about it a little bit here. So the gentleman that was on the screen with the bald head actually ran the program for 2.5 years, and he claimed to have had a full head of hair when he joined the program. And I'm like, Andrew, it wasn't that stressful. Okay, so he's moved on into bigger things, and the vet program really helped him out a lot. So I don't need to speak to this slide here, but what I would like to tell you is a story about one of these veterans that can personalize this experience and sort of convey to you how one of these individuals can impact your organization. So I'd like to tell you about Cody from Big Lake, Texas. And while this is a story about a U.S. Marine, this is a global program, and we've seen success in Canada, the UK, and we're expanding this program across the globe. So Cody was a 21-year-old that joined the Marine Corps, had a desire for a larger sense of purpose than trying to get a date on Saturday night, and he ended up getting shipped off to Afghanistan, where he spent about 700 hours in a turret manning a 50 caliber machine gun while the bad guys tried to shoot him up and do bad things. From there, he actually went to Iraq in 2014, and that was when ISIS was really whipping things up and doing a lot of bad things. So he was a radio operator, and his job function didn't really have anything to do with what they had tasked him with, but he was trained to adapt and be able to do a good job under duress. what he was actually doing was he would go to the front gate of the forward operating base there, and he would, when medevacs would arrive with injured civilians, because ISIS was blowing up and shooting up people quite extensively at that point in time, he would be the first person that would get into that vehicle, and his job was to radio back to the medics and the doctors as to what the condition of the person in the vehicle was. So for a year he did that job, and he probably saw some of the most horrible things that mankind can exact upon each other. And what he did was he was able to do that job, saving lives as a 21-year-old kid with basic training. And he did that job for a year and did a fantastic job at it. He left the service and he joined the Fortinet program. And in 2015, he was placed within an organization and has recently been promoted into a management role as a 21-year-old kid, 23 now. But a great level of maturity in his ability to operate today as a result of what he did in the military. So I don't need to tell you that there's we have a challenge in finding security operational capabilities today. It's a global problem. 0% unemployment rate amongst cybersecurity engineers, and 50% of businesses basically state that that they have a difficult time finding individuals to fill these roles. So what Fortinet has done is created a program that is really focused at finding individuals within the military forces around the world and identifying these exceptional military veterans and putting them into a program that allows them to move into the cybersecurity space. So what we do is we actually go around to bases around the world and we provide lectures on the cybersecurity industry and the different types of job functions that are in those within the industry. And as a result, we come away with candidates that are transitioning out of the military and looking for what they want to be doing in their next iteration. So we do a lot around providing them the mentoring and the skill sets that they need to move into the civilian sector. When you've been in the military for, some of these folks have been in the military for 20 years, you don't have to figure out what you're wearing when you wake up every day, right? You're wearing the same thing. It's as simple as that, as providing them an ability to understand the different aspects that they're going to deal with when they go into an interview, how they engage with a civilian employer, how to not use military speak whenever they're addressing what they've done in the past, and to understand the basic capabilities that they bring to bear that put them above and beyond similar candidates coming into that kind of role. So while employment is not guaranteed, we've had an enormous amount of success with this program because what you'll find, I'm not a military veteran myself. I grew up in a military family, so I understand the sacrifice made by the family and the service members. Most of us in this crowd, raise your hand if you've ever served in the military of any of the countries that you represent. So for the most part, we're all civilians that understand what these folks do. And maybe we want to be involved in helping them make that move. We certainly have a hard time finding personnel for what we're trying to do. So this program is designed to help you integrate those folks into what you're doing. And as I mentioned, this is not a US-based, US-only program. It is truly a global program, and we've enjoyed success around the world with it. So as I mentioned to you, no matter what country you're from, no matter where you came here from, these are common traits for anybody leaving military service and moving into the civilian sector. And these are traits that directly apply to the cybersecurity skills gap that we have. So force protection and situational awareness is ingrained in these individuals. The ability to operate in a team in a diverse environment with multiple backgrounds, races, creeds. This is something that they are forced into working together as a team, which is not something that happens in universities today. Structured leadership training. I mean, you talk to a 24-year-old Marine, he's given what they call pocket courses on how to brush your teeth, how to wear the proper stays in your uniform, and he's had to train other people how to do that. So throughout the cycle of their existence in the military, they're trained how to be leaders. And that becomes a very, very important skill set to bring to bear in your organization. Communications and technology, they're using it every day. Intelligence and kinetic warfare. Today we have what's called hybrid warfare. And if anybody of you, I'm sure you're all aware of what happened in the Ukraine, but literally in the Ukraine, the first thing that happened there was the lights got turned out, the phone system got turned off, and then the bombs and the rockets started to happen. So kinetic warfare is really hybrid warfare today, and they're trained how to operate and understand the ramifications. And they understand that their decisions could have an impact on life and limb. So they take their jobs very seriously, and they operate well under duress. And not that a SOC management job is something that you're going to deal with a lot of duress, but they are used to dealing with long hours of boredom and minutes of absolute fright and terror and still function in an operational capacity. What we do with this program is we access the bases, we train them on the cybersecurity opportunity. Really don't talk too much about Fortinet, to be honest with you. We let them know who we are, but the goal is for them to understand that as they leave the military, they don't have to become a police officer or a physical security person. They can actually get into a booming industry in a variety of different roles, not just cybersecurity operations or engineering, but any type of cybersecurity job that it could include marketing, business development. Fortinet has hired over 10 of these individuals within our organization, and they contribute upwards of $4 million a year in new revenue for us and new opportunities. So these folks really are motivated to have an impact, and they're having a great impact here. So we actually have, within our systems engineering force here in the US and Canada, we actually have 40% of our systems engineers are former military personnel. We found that interesting, and in 2013 we started this program to help our MSSP partners fill that cybersecurity skills gap. And that's really how the program began. What is now the situation is that in the US, in Canada, in the UK, in Germany, in France, operators in those spaces and partners in those spaces are looking at this concept to help them fill that cybersecurity skills gap. This is really a bifurcated approach that Fortinet is taking, one in the military and two in academia with the Fortinet Security Academy, where we're going into the academies and the institutes and we're providing technical training on how to get folks trained up on Fortinet technologies so they can come in and work in your security operations center. Another global initiative to help you fill that cybersecurity skills gap. So the way that we do this is we bring these veterans in. After we give these speeches and trainings on the cybersecurity skills opportunity, they all want to become a part of it, but not all of them have cybersecurity skills training or backgrounds. So we categorize them in category A, B, and C. And so category A could have been a 50 caliber machine gun expert, right? No necessarily skill sets around cybersecurity, but they end up doing really well in sales, logistics, operational type roles, support roles, and they come with references and training that get them in the door with a lot more knowledge than you may find somebody off of the street. Category B is providing a little more experience around actual cyber, maybe networking, field communications, intelligence. And then category C, these folks could have been hacking the North Koreans before they came out of the military. So they're in the real Gucci cybersecurity operational stuff. These folks are generally unemployed for all of about 10 minutes when they come out of the military. But we create this ability of categorizing these individuals in their operational capacities so you as an employer can look them up based on what your needs are. And then we put them into a battle card. And in that battle card, it's a picture of them in uniform and a picture of them in their civilian attire, what they've done in the military, their decorations, accommodations, etc., where they want to live, what they want to be doing. It makes it very easy for an employer to look at something that speaks a little further to the individual as opposed to just the resume. So these battle cards have been highly successful in giving an employer a good view into the individual that they're considering for the role. So the battle cards you can see here, by the numbers, in the last 24 months, 66 veterans have been hired in the US and Canada. We're expanding this program globally, and literally what we've been able to do is help our partners fill these gaps. And it's really been an amazing opportunity to not only fill these gaps, but do well while doing good. These individuals do not want to hand out. They want to hand up. They want to have an opportunity to continue to do something that is going to give them that sense of purpose and service to the greater good that caused them to go join the military in the first place. So it's a great program. So in closing, I would like to ask you, beseech you all, as you go back to wherever you came here from, think about this as a potential opportunity to become a champion and a mentor for this program in the countries that you represent. Because as I mentioned, these skill sets are not specific to an American or a Canadian or a Brit. They are universal in the training mechanisms within these military forces. So I really appreciate everybody's time. And how many of y'all are planning on going to the party tonight? Come on now. Be there. That is not something to miss. So greatly appreciate your time. Have a great day.